The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers update for Monday, November 17th, reveals that Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, will be Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, new cheerleader, while Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, breaks up a fight. At the GCAC, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will drink with Kane and assume something happened with Lily to change his mind about a fresh start. Phyllis will note that Kane changes his mind a lot and will wonder if he might change it once again, but he'll insist he's not going to. Despite Kane's plan to put Aristotle Dumas behind him, Phyllis will suspect the line has blurred so much that he doesn't know who he really is anymore. Phyllis won't have a problem with that and will think Kane should just let this blurred line happen. After Kane joins Phyllis up in her suite, they'll have a nightcap before he mulls over more accusations. Kane will wonder if Phyllis swiped the AI program with the intention of going after Arabesque for pennies on the dollar. Phyllis will maintain that she isn't behind the program theft, so Kane will move in close and play up his attraction to her. It'll leave Phyllis glad that she's got Kane's attention as they start kissing wildly. At Society, Lily will weird Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, out by suddenly becoming Kane's cheerleader and acting like he deserves a chance to prove himself. Adam will have a tough time buying that Kane has changed and will point out he wasn't exactly a Boy Scout before all the Dumas drama either. Although Lily will accuse Victor of the AI program theft, Adam will insist there's no proof and will keep the focus on Kane's own bad behavior. Lily will want the Newmans to back off Kane and let him heal his family, but Chelsea and Adam will act like Kane needs to end the conflict he started. Once Lily stomps over to the bar, she'll have some Kane flashbacks and leave him a voicemail that basically points to her torn heart. Lily will hint about needing time and won't be certain of how patient Kane can be as she hangs up. At the coffee house, Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, will clear the air with Holden regarding Los Angeles. Although Claire enjoyed herself with Holden, she won't want to dive into a new relationship and won't know if they'll ever hit the sheets again. Claire will clarify that she's not getting back together with Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, and that she doesn't judge Holden over his confession about what he did with Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver. That said, Claire will look uneasy as she questions Holden about whether he regrets what happened with Audra. Holden won't seem like he really does, but he'll try to play it off as nervousness over Claire watching him like a hawk. Claire will eventually question if there was some part of the story that wasn't so neat and tidy. It'll leave Claire wondering if Holden would fill her in if that news. When Audra appears on Monday's YNR episode, she'll taunt Claire about going from boring Kyle to Holden the player. Claire will hint about being able to make trouble for Audra with one phone call, but Audra will threaten to mess up Claire's pretty face as the fight escalates. Holden will play referee, but Claire will get the last word in when she hints about Holden needing to answer her earlier question. Claire will make things seem ominous for Audra before she exits with Holden. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra and Claire's feud is far from over, so we'll bring you updates on the next round of tension. The Young and the Restless, YNR, spoilers reveal that Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, may gaslight Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, into thinking she's going off the deep end. Will Audra's rival end up questioning her sanity thanks to a new Claire takedown plot? Audra was furious over Holden Novak's, Nathan Owens, decision to spill at least part of what happened in Los Angeles. Holden didn't tell the worst parts of the story, but he did tell Claire about the stolen cashier's check drama and stirred up some trouble for Audra. Even so, Audra won't show any fear when Claire tosses threats around in the November 17th episode. Instead, Audra will throw some threats back at Claire and make it clear that she's not to be messed with. That confrontation will also bring Audra's reminder that Claire's history isn't squeaky clean either. Audra will bring up how Claire tried to kill her entire family once upon a time, so maybe the show's bringing up Claire's past for a reason. After Audra and Claire clash, YNR spoilers say Audra will do some brainstorming on November 19th. Audra will mull over her next power play and presumably scheme ways to gain the upper hand on Claire. This might be a good opportunity for a gaslighting plot under the circumstances. Considering Claire's history of mental health problems, Audra could exploit them and try to make Claire think she's losing it. It'd be easy for Audra to plant fake evidence that Jordan, Colleen Zenk, has come back from the grave or something along those lines. Claire would totally freak out if she thought Twisted Aunt Jordan had returned to torment her and the people she cares about. Audra could gaslight Claire into believing that and distract her from all the LA stuff Audra wants to bury. At some point, Audra might even stage some situation where it looks like Claire has come unhinged and attacked her. If Audra settles on this retaliation strategy, she could certainly find ways to make Claire seem like she's on a downward mental health spiral. Regardless, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Audra may make some updates to her tactics against Claire and cause some unsettling news for her enemy. The Young and the Restless. YNR. Spoilers for the next 2 weeks, November 17th to November 28th, reveal that Detective Annie Stewart, Catherine Kresge, will join the LA story while Trap Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, and Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, need a rescue. During the week November 17th to 21st, Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will let passion take control at her suite while Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, defends Kane to Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. Later, Lily will find common ground with Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, but he'll have to prevent a brawl between Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, first. After Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman grills Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, about Victor Newman's, Eric Braeden, AI program plans, Nikki will have some stories to share with Claire. Once the news trickles out to Genoa City that Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, is alive, Claire may turn to Nikki for answers about Matt's history. As for Victor, he'll team up with Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, on a Matt takedown plan. Nick will eventually seek some leverage he can use against Matt, who'll end up facing off with Sharon in her hotel room after fire alarm blares. While Sharon refuses to let fear take over, Audra will have a similar idea as she schemes against Claire. Despite Claire's partial knowledge of what happened in Los Angeles, Audra will refuse to let Claire think she's got the upper hand. Back in LA, it looks like unconscious Noah will be tossed in captivity with Sienna, who'll wake him up and let him know that they're both in some trouble. Matt will make sure Sienna and Noah land in the trap he set for them, so stay tuned for updates on what he plans to do to the cheaters. We should also mention that Catherine Kresge will make her YNR debut as Detective Annie Stewart on. Next, the November 21st episode will bring the start of Christine Blair, Laura Lee Bell, and Danny Romalotti's Michael Damian 2-day marriage ceremony event. The second part will kick off on November 24th, so the week of November 24th to 28th will begin on a wonderful wedding note. Danny and Christine's nuptials will bring some exciting returns since Gina Roma, Patty Weaver, and Nina Webster, Trisha Cast, will both come back to help celebrate. Christine will also wear a bridal gown that was chosen by fans on social media, so we'll all be eager to see the dazzling winner. Of course, it wouldn't be a soap wedding without a little drama. Phyllis is a schemer at heart, so she may decide to throw a few final curveballs as Danny and Christine prepare to say, "I do." Once the wedding fun wraps up, there should be more Matt mayhem in Los Angeles. A Noah and Sienna rescue mission may get underway if they can't escape Matt's trap on their own. As for Dirty Detective Burrow, Matt Cohen, he may have a hard time keeping his shady activities under wraps. That's especially true if Detective Stewart is a by-the-book cop who suspects Burrow is up to no good. Whatever the case, Sharon and Nick will do everything in their power to back Matt into a corner, but they won't keep him down for long. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some twists and turns are still to come on the CBS soap, so don't miss all the action. The Young and the Restless. YNR, spoilers hint that Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, double betrayal may rock Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford. Kane may get payback 2 devastating ways and leave Phyllis furious, as well as heartbroken in the end. Of course, we should point out that Phyllis betrayed Kane first. Phyllis stole the AI program and gave it to Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, who promptly used it to target Kane's company. That wasn't what Phyllis had in mind since she expected Victor to target Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, and Jabot instead. Phyllis wants to be in control of Jabot down the road, but that plan may not work out for her either. Victor has promised to hand Jabot over to Phyllis once he's done destroying Jack, but he's not a man who always keeps his promises. Phyllis has already been burned by Victor once since he went after Arabesque, when that wasn't the deal they made. However, it's Kane who Phyllis may really need to watch out for. Phyllis and Kane seem poised to land in bed together based on the preview video for the week of November 17th to 21st, so that'll make things messier between them. This could cause Phyllis's feelings for Kane to grow strong and make her believe they might have a future together. Kane could easily be playing Phyllis and setting her up for some crushing blows. If Kane uses this new layer of their relationship to manipulate Phyllis, he may ultimately pull the rug out from under her. Kane may admit his deception somewhere down the line and make it clear that this was all a ruse. Kane may eventually score proof that Phyllis stole the AI program and dash her dreams of building a real relationship with him. Perhaps Kane could also uncover Phyllis's Jabot takeover goal and manage to gain control of it himself. If Kane ends up in charge of Jabot in the end, he could gloat over that development and deliver yet another infuriating Phyllis setback. Bottom line, Kane could betray Phyllis two ways if he fakes their romance and then steals the Jabot outcome she wanted. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kane may blindside Phyllis with some dirty tricks, so stay tuned for updates on any terrible news ahead. The Young and the Restless YNR preview video for the week of November 17th to 21st reveals that Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, will face some fire alarm panic before menacing Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, ambushes her. YNR's weekly promo begins with Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, who tells Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, that they need to talk about what happened in LA. Based on Holden's expression, he'll clearly assume Claire's about to give him bad news. Claire has been brushing Holden off ever since they returned home, so he may assume their romantic entanglement is over. Although Claire claims she doesn't regret hitting the sheets with Holden, she may acknowledge that life is different in Genoa City. Claire had a great time with Holden in Los Angeles, but she may give him a speech about focusing on work now and suggest they're better off as friends. However, Holden may worry that he scared Claire off with the stolen wallet fiasco story, or that her feelings for Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, are still in the way. Meanwhile, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will purr in Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, ear and make sure she has his attention. Kane and Phyllis will have a makeout session that could easily lead to some passion in her bed next. YNR's weekly preview video also shows Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun, urging an unconscious Noah Newman Lucas Adams to wake up. As Noah regains consciousness, he groggily wonders what happened to him. Based on the clip, the two of them appear to be in some storage room or warehouse space, so Detective Burrow, Matt Cohen, might lock Sienna and Noah up together on Matt's orders. Whatever the case, it looks like Noah will have to recover from getting knocked out. Sienna may also admit Noah's parents are right since she did some digging online and found photos of Matt aka Mitch when he was living in GC. In Sharon's hotel room, she'll freak out when an alarm starts going off in the building. It seems someone will pull the fire alarm, so Sharon will grab her purse and start to head out the door. Once Sharon opens it, she'll be horrified to find Matt standing there with an evil expression. "You?" Sharon exclaims as Matt glares back at her in the weekly promo. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Matt's behavior will take an even more disturbing turn in the coming episodes, so stay tuned for updates on all the horror to come. The Young and the Restless YNR recap for Friday, November 14th, reveals that Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, will see Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, kissing Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, while Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, and Noah Newman Lucas Adams have an affair face-off. After Noah relieves his guard of his duties and checks himself out of the hospital, Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, will get updates on the alarming news. Noah won't be answering his phone on Friday's YNR episode, but Nick and Sharon will ultimately head to the shadow room thinking he might have gone there. Sure enough, Noah will end up at the nightclub, where he'll find Mitch instead of Sienna Bacall, Tamara Braun. Mitch will notice Noah seems on edge and will assume this has something to do with his parents' claims about him being someone named Matt. Noah will acknowledge that Mitch has been good to him, but he'll also point out Sharon and Nick have no reason to lie to him about this. Mitch will argue that they're mistaken instead and run down the list of all the ways he'd been a helpful mentor to Noah. With all that in mind, Mitch will wonder why Noah repaid him by sleeping with his wife. Noah will lie about having only a platonic connection with Sienna, but Mitch will push him to be a man and come clean. Mitch will wonder if Noah has been in his own bed with Sienna and will make it clear that he's no longer interested in helping Noah with an LA club. Noah will continue to deny the affair and start to leave, but Detective Burrow, Matt Cohen, will pop up and stop him. Detective Burrow will have questions about. But Noah won't think he can help since he doesn't remember much of anything. After Detective Burrow says a drive past the crash site might help, he'll warn Noah that it's not a request. Once Sharon and Nick arrive looking for Noah soon after, Matt will play dumb and act like he thought Noah is still in the hospital. Sharon and Nick will want to get the cops involved, so Matt will suggest he can tell the police about the threats they made on his life. Once Nick clarifies that it wasn't just a threat, he'll declare that Matt's a dead man if he did anything to Noah. In the park, Lily will have peppermint hot chocolate with Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, as he questions her about where things stand with Kane. Once Lily takes off, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, will appear and ask Nate to join her for peppermint hot chocolate as well. Nate will happily agree, but he'll later admit he already had a cup and got another anyway just to spend time with Victoria. After some talk about Noah's improvements as well Claire Newman's, Haley Aaron LA trip, Victoria and Nate will make dinner plans since their previous meal didn't pan out. At Society, Kane will be flattered and intrigued over Phyllis's seduction attempt, but he'll make it clear that Lily still has his heart. Kane won't be ready to give up on reuniting his family, but Phyllis will act like it's a lost cause. Phyllis will acknowledge her attraction to Kane and will give him a kiss right as Lily enters the restaurant. After Phyllis reminds Kane that she'd never ask him to change, she'll saunter out. When Lily walks over, Kane will realize she witnessed the kiss, but he'll suggest Phyllis is playing games and he's working an angle. Although Kane will act like Arabesque's takedown has given him clarity, Lily won't surrender to the reunion he wants. Kane will eventually seem like he realizes Lily's done and that there's nothing he can do to change her mind. It won't be long until Kane approaches Phyllis at the GCAC bar, where he'll admit she was right. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kane will insist he wants a new future and will wonder if Phyllis is free tonight. So stay tuned to see where things will go from here. The Young and the Restless. YNR, spoilers hint that Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, may manipulate Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall, Roger Howarth, so a surprise team player could emerge in Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, and Nick Newman's, Joshua Morrow.
Storyline.
When Sharon came face to face with her old enemy outside the Shadow Room, she was thrown for a loop. Matt was the last person Sharon expected to see alive in Los Angeles, but he's indeed back from the grave and causing more chaos. In an interview with SOD, Sharon Case opened up about her delight over Matt's return. Case clearly embraces the soap trope of deceased characters coming back, especially when the story involves someone as sinister and unpredictable as Matt. Although YNR fans may think they've got it all figured out, Case insisted the story is going to bring some twists and turns that viewers won't see coming. There'll be some shockers along the way, so this is sure to be a wild ride. Coming Back from the Dead is a classic soap story, but what is not necessarily common is the different twists that we have over and over again. I think the audience won't be able to guess who comes into the story next and how it turns, Case said. It's interesting that Case is playing up some mysterious addition to the storyline. Could it be Phyllis who'll ultimately get tangled up in the Matt mayhem? Sharon and Phyllis developed a trauma bond through their experience as Martin Lawrence, Christopher Cousins, lab rats, so they're sort of friends now. That explains why Sharon found herself dialing Phyllis's number after a disturbing Matt showdown. Phyllis didn't pick up, so Sharon simply left her an emotional voicemail and covered up the real reason for reaching out. Sharon acted like she just wanted to thank Phyllis for her kind messages regarding Noah Newman, Lucas Adams, but she was obviously holding back this Matt mess that she's desperate to talk to someone about. Phyllis is going to get updates on the truth sooner or later, so she'll no doubt have compassion over what Sharon's going through. After all the other villains Sharon's already had to face off against, Phyllis will know this must be taking a toll on her. Of course, Phyllis will be outraged on Nick's behalf too, and may decide she wants to help. Since Phyllis always seems to be seeking some new purpose and loves butting into other people's business, this could be the perfect story for her to join. Could Phyllis manipulate or even seduce Matt when he comes to Genoa City down the road? Will Phyllis become Nick and Sharon's secret weapon as they work to take Matt down for good? Phyllis always thinks she's the smartest person in the room and could potentially become Matt's worst nightmare if she plays this just right. Phyllis is going to get updates on the truth sooner or later, so she'll no doubt have compassion over what Sharon's going through. After all the other villains Sharon's already had to face off against, Phyllis will know this must be taking a toll on her. Of course, Phyllis will be outraged on Nick's behalf too, and may decide she wants to help. Since Phyllis always seems to be seeking some new purpose and loves butting into other people's business, this could be the perfect story for her to join. Could Phyllis manipulate or even seduce Matt when he comes to Genoa City down the road? Will Phyllis become Nick and Sharon's secret weapon as they work to take Matt down for good? Phyllis always thinks she's the smartest person in the room and could potentially become Matt's worst nightmare if she plays this just right. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Phyllis will get some disturbing news on Matt sooner or later, so stay tuned to see if she'll help take him down.